Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bible Project. Today's story takes place right here on the Sea of Galilee. It is late in the day, and Jesus and his disciples are getting a ride from their friends on a boat. Picture this: you've had the busiest day of your life, crowds pressing in, questions flying everywhere, and finally you hop on a boat with your friends to get some rest. That's exactly where Jesus was. The disciples rode into the open water, and guess what? Jesus, he was out cold, fast asleep in the back of the boat. But then, boom, out of nowhere, the sky darkens. Waves slam against the boat. The disciples are soaked, rowing like crazy and yelling over the wind. These guys were fishermen, but this storm, it had them terrified. Now, in the middle of the chaos, one disciple leans over to wake up Jesus. So now we're gonna lean in too, because what happens next is pretty dramatic. They cry out, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" And that's when Jesus does something amazing. He stands up, raises his hand, and with three little words, everything changes. Quiet, be still. The wind immediately dies down. The waves instantly flatten out, and the clouds part to reveal the beautiful moonlight. In that moment, the disciples stare at each other in shock. They're asking themselves, who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him. In fact, you can read all about it in Mark chapter 4 verse 36 to 41, so let's take a minute to really think about what just happened. Earlier, the disciples were terrified, right? They were in the middle of a storm, the kind of storm that could easily capsize their little boat and send all of them into the depths of the Sea of Galilee. I mean, think about the power of the wind and the waves. They were crashing against the boat, soaking the disciples and making it almost impossible for them to keep rowing. And let's not forget about the rain. No doubt it was pouring, making everything even more difficult. And yet, in the midst of all that chaos, Jesus was sleeping peacefully in the back of the boat. Why? Because he knew that his friends, the disciples, were in control. They were skilled boatmen who knew these waters well. They would be okay. And while they were rowing, Jesus was resting, trusting in his friends and enjoying a little peace before their evening. But then suddenly things took a turn for the worse. The wind started to blow harder, the waves began to crash against the boat even more violently, and the disciples, they panicked. This wasn't just any ordinary storm. This was a serious, full-blown crisis, and now the question is, why did they wake Jesus up? Why did they call out to him in their moment of fear and distress? I mean, they had been rowing for quite some time before the storm hit, and Jesus had been asleep the whole time. But when things started to go really wrong, they couldn't help themselves. They needed him to do something, anything to save them from the raging sea. And then something incredible happened. Jesus woke up, and with just three simple words, he calmed the storm. The wind stopped blowing, the waves flattened out, and the rain disappeared. Suddenly, it was as if the storm had never even happened. How is that possible? Well, for the disciples, it was a miracle. They witnessed firsthand the power of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, but for us today, it's a lesson. You see, no matter what kind of storms we face in life, whether it's fear, stress, or uncertainty about the future, we can trust in Jesus to help us through. He may not always calm our storms right away, but he is there with us every step of the way, giving us strength, comfort, and peace. And that's the good news. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this animated story of Jesus calming the storm. If you want to watch more animated Bible videos, just click right here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and leave us a comment below. Who is this? Even the wind and waves obey him. Until next time, remember, Jesus loves you.